Now, if you're right with God, and you're right with yourself, and you're right with your fellow man, and that storeroom in the back has been freed of guilt and remorse, let us now read to you what's going to take the place of all that old resentment and anger and fear and guilt and remorse that used to be in our mind. You can expect to receive results from this thing, just like Columbus did. Columbus believed, he decided, he acted, he got results. And we promised in the beginning that if you and I could believe, decide, and act, we would get results also. The results of the first 9 steps will be found at the bottom of page 83.
Now we have the promises that come right after the 9th step. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we'll be amazed before we're halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we see how experience can benefit others. That feeling of youthfulness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly,
Spiritual experience,
sometimes slowly.
spiritual awakening.
They will always materialize if we work for them. This is very positive. These things will always materialize if we work for them at the results of the first 9 steps. You know, promises always come as results of work. You know, they never stand alone. You know, nobody never does promise somebody for nothing. So we don't realize that these promises come as results of work. I always associated with something in my life, these steps, because I remember as a kid growing up, I don't know what the kids do now, but I see a few fellas in here might remember the way we grew up. When I grew up, the biggest thing in my life during the week was going to the movies on Saturday. That was the highlight of my life. And if you didn't go to movies on Saturday, wasn't no need of going to Sunday school Sunday because you didn't have nothing to talk about. You know, that was my whole life. My mother would get up every Saturday morning and I would ask her, Mama, can I go to the movies? She said, yes. Oh, yeah. She would promise me every Saturday morning. After you cut the grass and you do this and you do, she had more than 12 steps. She had a bunch of steps for me to take, you know. And I'd do those steps. I'd be working. I would work because I was thinking about what was going to happen, you know. And every Saturday evening, when I got through with all that work, she'd give me a quarter. I'll never forget it. Great big old quarter. And I'd go around and start around the corner for the movie. And this before inflation. You could get in for 15 cents. See 2 pictures and the Cowboys and the Cyril and the Captain Marvel and all that stuff and Zorro and all that stuff. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And you get a bag of popcorn about that big, butter running all down your mouth. And one of them Mr. Good bars, man, they used to be about that long. They got them about little bitty ones now. And boy, you had and it would all come as results of the work. Always develop. And these promises, you know, they don't stand alone. I don't think we should talk about these promises unless we talk about what it takes to get them as results of 9 simple steps.
I was in a hospital room not too long ago to visit with another drunk. AA member standing at the side of the bed reading to him out of the book when I walked in the door. And I said, what are you reading? He said, I'm reading him the promises. I said, great. Did you read him what went before the promises? He said, no. And I said, well, how in the hell do you think he's going to get them? They always materialize if we work for them through the first 9 steps. Let's read them again real fast. I like to read them for 2 reasons. One, I love the way I read them. But what I really want to do is I'm going to add some words to them. And these are going to be my own words. They're going to be back when I was young and alcohol was my friend, when I could drink it and be Fred Astaire on the dance floor, the world's greatest lover in the back seat of a 36 Chevrolet. This is the way alcohol used to make me feel before it turned against me and literally destroyed me. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, I knew a new freedom and a new happiness. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, I did not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, I comprehended the word serenity and I knew peace. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, no matter how far down the scale I had gone, I could see how my experience would benefit others. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, that feeling of uselessness and self-pity would disappear. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, I would lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in my fellows. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, self-seeking would slip away. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, my whole attitude and outlook upon life would change. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, fear of people and of economic insecurity would leave me. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, I would intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle me. Whenever I took a drink of alcohol, I would suddenly realize that alcohol was doing for me what I could not do for myself. All human beings search for a sense of ease and comfort. Some find it in one thing, some find it in another. For years, I found that sense of ease and comfort whenever I took a couple of drinks of alcohol. And all of these good things the book talked about would take place in my life. And alcohol was my friend, and alcohol did those things for me I couldn't do for myself. And as I look back today, I realize I could never have functioned as a teenager growing up without alcohol or something to give me that sense of ease and comfort. Now, one day alcohol turned against me, and the very things that I always feared would happen began to happen in my life. And I didn't know I was an alcoholic. So I spent the rest of my drinking career trying to recapture those good feelings, not knowing I would never be able to do that. And I damn near destroyed me trying to recapture the good things that alcohol gave me in the first place. Finally, I came to AA, and you gave me 9 steps, and I applied them in my life, and to my absolute amazement, I get all the good things, all the good feelings from the first 9 steps that I used to get from alcohol back when I was young and alcohol was my friend. Now, if I can get those things from the first 9 steps, then I do not need to take a drink in order to change the way that I feel. I get the same sense of ease and comfort from the first 9 steps that I used to get from a drink. This is the miracle of Alcoholics Anonymous. This is why I don't drink today. If I didn't get these things somewhere, I would go back to drinking in order to get them. But see, I don't have to go back to drinking because I get it from the first 9 steps.